So, hi Uros, welcome to our podcast. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I'd like to ask you to introduce yourself and then answer the following question. What is the state of AI in marketing right now?
Hey, hi Cibele, hi João. Great, thank you for having me. I'm Uros. I'm a partner and founder at Shopnosis. So Shopnosis is an AI assistant for retail marketing. So basically here at Shopnosis, so we have trained an AI that learns from real shoppers in real stores and helps big brands like Mars and Mondelez and such and PepsiCo to optimize their shopper marketing. So it's a pretty exciting space. So unlike most of the AI startups, so our startup is actually focused on brick and mortar stores, on physical spaces, not necessarily on digital and e-commerce. So that's why I'm going to put this brick and mortar perspective into our conversation. So, but that's still where most of the sales in the grocery and CPG space comes from. So yeah, that's about it. So I think you believed, so what would be the state of AI in marketing right now? So AI has been in the marketing space, I think for at least a decade now. So we had it under some other names like machine learning, etc. So it's used mostly to target the right shoppers, again, especially in the digital space. So, but now with the development of the generative AI, we are looking more into personalization. So I would say one of the big changes that's going on lately, that's that AI-powered personalization, where marketeers can send messages really to a particular person, like a really custom message for one shopper, and we can see or a customer, so we can see lots of increase in effectiveness about that. So the other thing we are seeing is this change in creative production. So I have read somewhere that a typical marketing agency right now, if an average account value right now for an advertising agency is $100,000, in a couple of years, that typical account value will go down to $20,000. So because right now, the creative, the copywriting, it's being replaced by the AI, especially copywriting. So I hang out with lots of marketeers, and whenever I move here around the office, I see ChatGPT on everybody's screens, more or less. So now it's copy. Soon it will also be about the creative. We are getting there one step at a time. So I think AI is making tectonic shifts in the marketing industry. Of course, yeah, we are in this hype cycle, so the hype cycle is slowing down at this moment, but it's definitely here to stay.
And Uros, how about AI in shopper marketing?
So shopper marketing, that's a great question, João. So shopper marketing has kinda been a laggard in that entire space. So because everything that's in brick and mortar, that's in physical stores, so first of all, it's hard to back that with data. Even it's year 2024, and we still cannot measure precisely for most of the brands, how many sales are coming from secondary locations. For instance, if you put a display in store, it's pretty difficult to measure how many actually units were sold from that display. That still isn't happening, even with the biggest companies and the biggest brands. So shopper marketing has typically been a laggard in this space, but we are also seeing movement there, what Shopnosis is doing. So we collect actually how people shop, so through smart camera glasses, and we know exactly what are they seeing in stores, what are they taking in hands, putting in carts, so has this display attracted your attention or not. So for instance, we have developed an AI to optimize any in-store creative. So be it a display or a floor sticker or whatever. So that would be one of the use cases for design, for instance. So with shopper marketing, that's also related to sales. Now, again, in retail, we have seen the AI again for quite long, but that was mostly about the supply chain. So that was mostly about the supply chain, and recently also about retail media. So retail media is also, again, all of the rage these days, and that's actually changing shopper marketing as well, because now retailers are putting so many screens in stores, and now screens are competing with traditional shopper marketing. So it will be pretty interesting to see like how do those like AI powered marketing on screens, how does it compete with something physical such as displays or wobblers or aisle fins, etc. So again, plenty of exciting stuff going on over there.
And what are the biggest shopper marketing challenges of your clients?
Yeah, so working with the biggest CPG companies on 3 continents, so we are seeing more or less always these similar challenges. So for one, like trade budgets seem to be bloated these days. So much is being spent on trade marketing. But actually it's pretty difficult to measure what works and what doesn't. You know that like advertising rule, so I know that half of my money spent on advertising like is wasted. Like that isn't the case anymore for digital, because you can measure everything basically. But for shopper marketing, that is actually the case. So I have read somewhere, I think it was the Path to Purchase Institute, that like more than half of shopper marketing campaigns have a low or negative ROI. So this is the thing, like trade budgets and shopper budgets are so huge, so much locations are bought in stores, from gondolas, displays, many activations, big seasonal campaigns, etc. And effectiveness of those is rarely measured. So it's so difficult to measure those. So our clients like come to us telling us like, all right, we spend so much on trade marketing, we aren't sure what works, what doesn't work, like please help us with that. So then we go to those big retailers, ask people to do their shopping trips, to record their shopping trip with our camera glasses, then analyze actually what people see, where do they pick up products, have they seen that floor sticker or an aisle fin and then made the purchase, or haven't they seen anything at all before buying. So that would be number one challenge coming from our clients. So challenge number 2, they simply need quality data for those big category review meetings. So data coming from real shoppers. Because like it's relatively easy to do an online survey or a focus group, but data like that generally doesn't make the cut when you need to make those big category plans. So now you have this alternative, like do some exit interview or an entrance interview actually to understand like how people shop, what drives them, etc. But if you want to go like a bit like beyond, so if you want to go beyond those stated intent and what actually people think they are doing while shopping and what they think that's driving them while shopping, so we measure that actually like objectively in real time. So when shoppers shop with smart glasses, for instance, we can monitor exactly where do they move around the store. We can measure conversion of certain categories, like how many shoppers have really passed the category, see a category, engage with the category, take something in hand, like how many products have they taken in hand, and like then what did they put in cart, and actually, so that's it. So I would also say this big challenge is also to get quality shopper behavior data for those big category review meetings. And there is the one more actually, which is becoming more common use case, and that is testing shopper marketing. All right, so 95% of shopper marketing today doesn't get tested. So again, which is like crazy. Before you launch, like whether it's a TV ad or especially the digital ad, like in digital A/B testing, it's really incorporated in the very process of launching the ad. Like, but in the world of shopper marketing, again, most campaigns just don't get tested at all. That's the problem, because like if you have a display that's going to be in stores for 2 weeks and you need like to do a focus group, which will like take you 1 week or something like that, so it just doesn't like pay out. So this is what we are also seeing, and like the testing methods that are out there today aren't actually like perfect for testing shopper marketing. So yeah, I would say those 3 things. So number 1 is optimizing trade budgets, so knowing what works and what doesn't. Number 2 is actually getting quality shopper behavior data for those big category review meetings and retailers. And number 3 is finding an easy, fast, and a budget-friendly way to test shopper marketing in advance.
And how does Shopnosis help address those challenges?
Yeah, so again, we have this technology that is, as far as I know, is pretty unique globally, where we work with smart glasses. So now I'm not sure about the situation in Brazil. So I guess like not many people own smart glasses in Brazil. It's similar in Europe, but now in the US, we are getting more and more of those smart glasses. Like you have Ray-Ban, Meta smart glasses, like they are pretty cool. It's a Ray-Ban, but with a camera and an AI. So now more and more of those smart glasses are being rolled out. So we are actually building communities of people with those smart glasses who are sending us their recordings of their shopping trips. So we have this unfiltered, real database of how people shop, like what exactly do they see while shopping, what do they take in hand, and then in the end put in cart. So that's a pretty powerful data set. So now imagine like having like tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of videos, how somebody actually shops and what do they see, like the human vision data while shopping. So it's a pretty like perfect database for training an algorithm. So we basically analyze those videos through computer vision to understand every interaction in store. And then we feed our AI algorithm, which is then learning what makes a good and what makes a bad shopper marketing. So a couple of things coming out of that. So number 1, we can actually recreate exact shopping journeys. So recreate shopping journeys, in-store funnels. So like you would have an e-commerce funnel. Now we will give you a funnel, but for real stores, for physical spaces. So that's a pretty powerful thing. So like next to those analysis of shopper journeys, we also have this AI that predicts how well will your in-store marketing work. So if you need to test anything, so upload your new campaign into our SaaS platform, and the AI actually analyzes that campaign on hundreds of parameters, like your call to action, what's the contrast like, what kind of font are you using, what's the sentiment, how long is it, etc. So like also what is your key visual like. So like when we like add up hundreds of those parameters, and then the AI compares that with our data set of more than 10,000 in-store campaigns, so for which we know how good or how bad are they, like it gives you a prediction. So your campaign is going to be this good, so like better or worse than your benchmark. And it also scores it on some key parameters like promotion visibility, then like how well is your product, like your product exposure for your displays, how easy it is to take your products, etc. And it also gives you recommendations how to improve your campaign. So, and everything happens like almost instantly. So yeah.
We are really excited to have Shopnosis here. When you guys are going to come to Brazil?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a great question. So to be fully transparent, so we aren't in Brazil yet. So we are working in the US, in Europe, and in Australia and New Zealand. But like Brazil sounds amazing. I saw your work and I'm following you on LinkedIn. So I know like that in Brazil, like so many exciting like shopper activations are going on. So it would be really, really exciting to come to Brazil. So